I'm sure some of you recognize this deck, the Simic Aggro deck, created by Ash Lizzle, who went on an incredible run in Mythic. I believe it was 25-0 in best of 3, which is mind-blowing. Like, that shows how much potential this archetype has as an aggro deck. Taking games in like less than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like you can just demolish your opponents if they're not ready to deal with what you're going to be presenting. So the gist of the deck is to just play all the early game good artifact synergy cards with strong stats and abilities that allow you to snowball the game. Because we have new cards like the Schooner that allow you to play a vehicle that can't be interacted with on turn 2, basically, because most people will just have straight up removal. And then tied to the Explore mechanic, giving you the extra mana that you might not have. So if you need more lands, you can find it, giving you more stats, which is going to be key in this deck as well. Both sides of the Explorer, whether it be the stats or the land, are going to be incredibly good in this deck. So I should probably cover why Explore is so good in this deck. It's because we're running 22 lands. Now, Ash Lizzle is known for cutting a lot of lands because of Flood, but in this case, it is actually a little bit more justified, and I think it is totally reasonable to play 22 lands, but that's probably the limit as to, you don't want to go lower than that, basically. 22 is going to be the limit because of Explore kind of giving you that ability to tie things together by giving you more chances to find land. So it's actually pretty reasonable with the Siren that makes a map token for Explore, with the Sentinel that also makes map tokens to Explore. So you have 12 Explore cards that will allow you to cycle faster through cards and try to find those lands. So 22, totally justified. And that makes the deck pretty consistent with drawing threats off the top. So you have that. The Schooner, we just talked about it. The synergy with the Schooner and other Explore cards, we have this kind of the legendary creature for the Explore mechanic, and this card is absolutely bonkers. This card will completely snowball the game in the right circumstance on turn 2, going into turn 3. This has basically a static ability where when you explore, if you find a land, you get to put it into play tapped, and if you find a non-land and you put a +1/+1 counter on something with Explore, this card also gets +1/+1, transforming it from a 2/3 to a 3/4, or potentially a 4/5 if you explored with the Schooner onto this card. That for 2 mana is just ridiculous amount. It's too good. It's too much stats. People will have a very hard time dealing with this for 2 mana on top of all the other threats that you're presenting. The other threat that costs only 1 mana that you're going to be putting out early game is going to be Teething Wormlet. A lot of you already know this card has been out for a while. So when you play an artifact, it gets +1/+1, and you gain 1 life. That is just infinite scaling every turn. You can only get the +1/+1 counter 1 time per turn, but that is more than enough to turn this into a very good threat for 1 mana. Like, this card for 1 mana is unreal. It's so good. Another aspect of this deck that makes it really tricky for your opponent to deal with is going to be Gingerbrute that can activate the ability can't be blocked this turn, and the Surge Engine that has the same ability for 1 blue. And both of these cards being tricky on their own, when they die, because your opponent's probably going to have to deal with them at some point, you can put them under the Cauldron by exiling them with the Cauldron, and then put a +1/+1 counter on creatures, and those creatures will gain the activated abilities, allowing you to give those creatures can't be blocked this turn, or can't be blocked period, with the Surge Engine. Also of note is that Explore gives +1/+1 counters, so you can also get the +1/+1 counters from the Explore mechanic instead of just having to rely on the Cauldron. So this card is absolutely insane in this deck. I would play 3 if we had some looting, but we don't. So you don't want to be stuck with 2 Cauldrons in hand, which is why there's only 2 copies. The Glyph, also new card. So basically the new cards completely tie this deck together. I mean, there's so many new cards in this deck. I guess actually not so many, but compared to other decks, four new cards is actually a lot. Actually, five, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. That's even more. So there's actually a reasonable amount of new cards compared to like other decks that we're seeing in the meta. So Zoetic Glyph is really pushing the whole deck into its maximum aggressive potential with a 5/4 on turn 3 into the card advantage of the Discover 3 when they deal with the creature. So this card is bonkers because it's at the time card advantage and also insane stats that cannot be matched by any creature on turn 3. So that's pretty crazy when you're putting this on either a Gingerbrute in the mid game or early game you're trying to put it more on like tokens, so on map tokens for example, or on the food token from Tough Cookie. Tough Cookie is actually incredible in this deck. It's really weird because in this deck I want to talk about every card because every card is so good, and that's why the deck comes together and is really powerful, is because every card is exciting and very powerful by itself. Tough Cookie is an absolute menace in this deck. You make a 2/2, so you have a 2/2 the Tough Cookie, and you make a food, and then you have the activated ability of the Tough Cookie that can turn artifacts into 4/4s until end of turn, which is completely nuts. And also tied to the fact that food is just so good in this meta. It's really good against mono red because you can sack it to gain life. It's so good against any form of reach or any deck that's trying to race you. That food will come in handy quite often, honestly. It is pretty crazy. And if it doesn't come in handy with the life, you can just transform it into a 4/4 or just slap a glyph onto it, turn it into a 5/4. And the last threat that you have in the deck is going to be the Restless Vinestalk, which allows you to, in games where you're activating a lot of Explore, you're probably finding a decent amount of land. When you hit the 6 mana, you can activate this 5/5 trample, and that just finishes the game on the spot. So it's really important to have a few mana lands. I don't know if 3 is correct. I would say 2 is totally reasonable. I think you want to avoid as many tap lands as possible. So maybe 3 is too much. That's what I'm thinking, but it's not 100% sure. I did cut a Murex. That's one thing I did in this deck. There were 3 Murexes. I feel like it's a little bit greedy because on 22 lands, again, you're under the threat of a mana screw very often. And if you have a colorless land, that neutralizes your entire curve out potential. Your entire tempo gets completely neutered by having a colorless land because you can't keep pushing. I think the Murex upside is definitely lesser than the high downside that it has in a lot of situations. Okay, that's the main deck. There's a lot to talk about. The sideboard, I'll go through it very quickly. I don't want to dwell on this deck too much because the sideboard is pretty straightforward. So 2 Spell Pierce, very important for control and ramped matchups. Witness Protection, which allows you to have some removal. I would argue you should probably have a few fight spells in here somewhere. I don't know where, but I think fight spells are pretty important because you can straight up remove. It allows you to keep attacking and they can't chump block basically. The Haywire Might, which I think is fantastic, allows you to gain some life against aggro decks and destroy some artifacts and enchantments. The Royal Treatment I think is the weakest card in the sideboard. I've not found a use for it yet. I'm unsure as to why it's here, but I left it in because I don't know. It's Ash Lizzle's deck. She probably found a use for it. I just don't know what it's for. And I added Kitesail Larcenist because I don't own the 3/1 flash counter creature. I think it's pretty bad anyways. I think this Larcenist is really insane. Allows you to have some removal tied to a creature, which is perfect for like that tempo game plan. So it's pretty much perfect. You can transform a creature from your opponent's side into a treasure until this leaves the battlefield, which is really good. It's a removal magnet, and you have so many cards that need removal, need to get hit by removal, that it's really good. And then Ren and Realmbreaker to add a little bit of a resilience against control decks by having that Planeswalker. So yeah, that was a lot, but I like this deck. It's fun, it's fast, it's pretty much the ideal aggro deck if you're not looking to play mono red. And yeah, I think it's here to stay, and it's really good. Anyways, I'll leave you with that. All right, this is tap lands early game, but it's fine. This is a good end. This is what you want to see as this deck, but again, like maybe I don't know. I don't know if I like Disruption Protocol. I'm really iffy on it. It has very good matchups, but it also has matchups where like double blue is just so hard to hit. They're missing black, right? So I can play this, I think. Just remain mana efficient. Nice. That's huge. That's very big. Because both of these are tap lands, it would have slowed me down a lot. Do I want protocol up here? Probably not. Probably just slam. That's a little bit unfortunate I lost the schooner, because that would have set me up quite well. And I kind of wish I drew a land there. But at the same time, it might be okay. They don't necessarily need the counter that turn, actually. Okay, now we have the Spell Pierces. Now we have the Ren and Realm Breakers, although I'm pretty sure we don't have the mana to cast it on curve most of the time. It's 10, 14... Yeah, no. Definitely not. Okay, and in this matchup, you probably don't want Cauldron. And I need to make 2 more cuts and potentially board this. Like, I'm having a hard time seeing where you're splashing all these 1 mana like tricks. Because I'm not cutting these, right? I'm not cutting this. I'm not cutting this. I can't cut this. I can't cut this. I could cut this. I could cut the Wormlet, honestly. But it is still 1-drop, and I feel like 1-drops are good. I'm not cutting the Siren. I could cut Ginger Brew. It's not that good. I mean, there's no way I'm cutting these, right? Probably Ginger Brew. Is Wormlet better or worse than Ginger Brew, actually? I think Wormlet's bad, actually. I'd rather have the 1 mana, the 1 damage haste, and then potentially slap a glyph on it. Yeah, I need more glyph targets. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the justification. I don't think I'm supposed to play Royal Treatment. Especially not on the draw, but I don't even know, like, I don't know how you'd play that card in any matchup. I don't think it's supposed to be in the deck, actually. At least not ×3. I guess it's for, like, mid-range creature mirrors where the +1/+1 can allow you to trade up. Something like that. Okay, that's a good draw. I was gonna say, without a 2-drop here, I'm not feeling too good. But this is, I mean, this is fine 2-drop. It's okay. Now that is very good. I don't know if I'm supposed to cast it this turn, though. Such weak tempo. And I wouldn't counter a removal spell, right? Yeah, I should play this. Yeah, that's good. I was like, do I hold this up to counter binding? Probably not, because the sweeper screws me over even harder, so... So much explore. Yeah, I'm definitely happier to have the Ginger Brew than the Worm. That was 100% correct. And the Spell Pierce is huge here. I was hesitating. I think there's supposed to be another Spell Pierce in this deck. I could see myself boarding in 3 Spell Pierce against control decks and ramp. Oh god. Oh god, aggro deck with tap lands. If I draw a land though, it's okay. Could do this into double worm or something. Uh-oh. Oh no, on the draw with double tap land against aggro, and I drew a counter spell. Man. That's just unlucky. Yeah, and they have the Kumano start, which is probably the worst thing that could happen. I didn't draw land. I have to hope they get like super mana screwed or something. But I'm mana screwed too, so it's like what I don't know what could happen this game for me to win. Maybe okay, I draw untapped land. I go Wormlet, Wormlet, Siren into Sentinel and maybe stabilize, maybe, but probably not. I'll be too far behind by then, probably. And again, them being on two, the problem is this card is okay. Never mind. Sure. Okay, that's not. Oh, okay, that's bad. I'm done. I drew a pain land too. That's like catastrophe of a game. Like absolute terrible. If I drew this last turn, I would have been okay with it, but this turn is not good enough. Could chump block this, play Sentinel, make a 3/3. I don't know. I don't know if I can. I guess I have to chump block. It's like kind of forced play. They have burn. They showed me burn. I can't afford to. They showed me trample as well. Oh, they didn't bring that out. Okay. That gives me a small chance. I wonder why they didn't go for the Seek the Beast. Oh, that makes sense. No, they can't play both at least. But that's ugh. That's brutal. Probably game. Well, I was already in a terrible spot anyways. No matter like for me to win that, it's double land, two lands, and then this is like whatever. But to be honest, this is just aggro mirror. One's on the play, one's on the draw. But to be fair though, the fact that this deck could have been in a good position to win is very impressive. Because if I drew on tap land on turn 2, I think I actually win this game. I'm not sure what saves me here. Probably just double blocking here. And then Glyph, I guess. I could also do Gingerbread Protocol. I need land, I think, ideally. No. Could do Gingerbread Protocol. Is that a play? No, it's not, right? Is it? Okay. Ah, if I shit. It's not horrible. But I would have to trade this, and then this goes in, which is not good. I don't think it's a play. Yeah, I have to take a risk here, I think. It's just, it is what it is. I'm too far behind to be making conservative plays. This will be my play next turn if something... If nothing terrible happens. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I feel pretty good. Now I can do this. Nice. Play this out. Hold up counterspell. Potentially trade here, I guess. I would be okay with that. Trading for this is huge, I think. I don't really care about this. I care about this. This is very scary to me because double striking 4/2 with trample is very bad for me. But now I have the protocol, which is nice. I don't really care about this surviving because I already got so much value and I have a glyph with the land next turn. All I have to do is prevent this from being too big. Also, I have life gain. Wow. So I was in a position to win this if I drew a land untapped on turn 2, but I still won, which is kind of crazy. I could definitely see myself not using the Cauldron that well on the draw. Maybe... I mean, I can see it being useful to some extent. I wonder if I play the Might just to destroy things like Audacity. It might actually be worth. I can't cut anything here. I probably cut the protocol. That makes sense. And play Might. Or Royal Treatment. Or Witness Protection. I don't think Witness Protection does that much. I mean, it does, but... Like, I have no counterplay to Questing Druid. Other than Larcenist, I guess. It's not horrible to play Witness Protection. It stops this. It makes this a useless creature. Probably should play it instead of the Might, actually. It's close. I wouldn't cut anything else, right? Maybe Gingerbrute. And then I play Might. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. I didn't even consider that. I should just cut it entirely and play, like... Maybe the Royal Treatment to catch them in combat. But again, like... Gingerbrute is useless in this matchup. Okay, never mind. I'm happy with this. I figured it out. It just took me a while, but I think we got there. I do think Kite's still Larcenist. If I had more copies of it, I would play an extra copy in the sideboard, probably instead of Royal Treatment. That's the card that feels the weakest to me right now. Okay, I have 22 lands. Surely I never draw land, and I'm okay here, because these two cards are pretty good. And I don't want to Bulgin into like a 2-lander and get screwed again. Yeah, I'm probably not going to win this game anyways. It's hard to win on the draw either way. I guess the Schooner is not that good on the draw. Yeah, maybe it was a Mulligan. I mean, I don't know. Like, if they don't have a Kumano opener, I feel like my opener is much more reasonable. But since they have Kumano on curve every game, it's a little bit too much. Okay, I'm never beating that. Yeah. Okay, this is a horrible matchup. Holy. Oh wait, what? Oh, choose a player. I was like, why can I target that? Wait, what? Oh wait, no. Oh, it's each player. I can turn my... Oh. That was confusing. I mean... I guess it's okay. I didn't even think that was like a possibility. I'm trying to think, does that have any utility on your side? I guess it kind of does. You can basically create a treasure token, right? Not terrible. Yeah, it's actually good. But this matchup is horrendous. Like, this is probably... I can't believe I won game 1, because without any removal, this deck should probably play like fight spells or something, because you're never ever winning against a deck that's like stacking, that has multiple threats, creatures you can't interact with. This deck is not built to play against that at all. But, you know, if they have Kumano turn 1 every game, it's kind of more of a problem than it would be otherwise. Alright, I think I just send it. Yeah, but to be fair, their deck is probably bad against every single black deck ever because they don't have like they don't have Schooner, they don't have Tough Cookie, they don't have like they don't have trickiness. They only have like straightforward aggression, which is gonna work against like trickier decks. Basically, it's like rock paper scissors, right? Ugh. This is why I wanted to cut a Murex because you get so I'm gonna cut a Murex. I don't feel like Murex has enough application in this deck because you're usually mana screwed, and here it's screwing me over so much. It would be a green anyway. It would be in green as well. There's no way I can play with this. Ugh. Like here too, like Murex could be any color and I'd be happier, right? There's no way I just yeah I ditched out, right? There's no way. There's no way I hold on to Murex. Yeah. Every game, man. Like if they don't have this, I'm in such a good position every game. Frustrating. This turns the game into like this doubles their win rate essentially. As long as they have anything, yeah, they have it again. I mean, I guess I could have. Oh, I should have mited it. Yeah, that was too late. I should have mited it. That's my bad. I totally forgot about this card because I've actually never played this in constructed ever. I got too frustrated with the opening hand being the same every game. Oh, non-creature. Oh no. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I was trying to chump block. Thankfully, I actually read that. God, man, like the difference between a Kumano opener and a non-Kumano opener is so night and day. It's so frustrating. I'm trying to think, like, if I had mited it, it would have been so much better. I misplayed it. It is what it is. And the frustration took over. I guess my position is still like okay because I'm the one on the aggro side because I'm on the play. So while this does have double strike, it has to attack, which is not good for them. And hopefully they don't have any removal. Okay, that's fine. I have counterplay to that. I have to deal with it now. The mites are doing what they're supposed to be doing, though. I'm happy about that. Could have been better, but I think I always play this. I miss the +1/+1, but I think getting the mana efficiency for this and then potentially activating engine next turn is too big. I do get a life, right? Okay. At least that's something. I know they have removal here. Or they have the druid, right? Probably removal. They were baiting me into activating that. That would have been a losing play for sure. Okay. Not the best spot. But I'm at 23. Like, I'm saying not the best spot because if this leaves the battlefield... Oh, and they have that. Okay. I think I might actually lose. Again, this matchup is horrendous. I can't deal with that. I do have 3 witness protection, which could come in clutch, I guess. I don't think making this bigger is relevant. So I'd probably just put it on this to block more damage. I mean, if I didn't misplay this game, I would have probably won, but I might still win. We'll see. I need stats. This has to hit. Okay. And then I find a land, maybe I'm okay. Do I live 7? Oh yeah, wait. This isn't +2 anymore. Okay, wait. I think I'm alive. 7, 6 toughness. Yeah, I'm alive. Unless they have land plus audacity or monstrous rage again. What if they play this? Is that... if they play a creature though, the thing is they have to buff this, otherwise it trades. And if I find land, I win. I win, period. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's not lethal. No opportunity for lethal. I should attack with well, this forces a block, this forces a block. I should hold this back. So they block, and then I have... Oh wait, no, but they have to trade. Actually, this is fine. I wonder if I attack with this just because it's probably not relevant. So if they block, I still have this, and I have this as well. I think I should attack with this to stop them from using the red. I gain a life as well. That's pretty nice. Oh my god. This is... okay, that's rough. Don't forget to click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell if you want to keep up with my future uploads. Anyways, back to the gameplay. Sure. Yeah, this is why I don't love the idea of Disruption Protocol. I mean, I kind of understand it in some matchups, but this deck's mana base can't really support 2 blue until like turn 4 on average, which is not... It basically means this is not going to be relevant ever on turn 2, so... It means we don't have that many 2-drops, basically. I think I can take the damage there for free, and then I'll just cast the Conductor, I guess. Oh, wow. Yeah, this card can be annoying, I guess. The treasure is relevant for sure. Okay, that's good. But I still can't hold this up. Yeah, I don't think I can. Oh. Oh, it tapped. I was like, that's actually big. I didn't get the +1, which is unfortunate. What I would have much rather have the +1 there, I think. Well, at the very least, next turn I do have the hard counter up, so that's nice. That's annoying. Okay. Can use that. Oh my god, it auto-tapped incorrectly. That's unfortunate. I guess I can't activate the ability then, but I think that's okay. Keep the counter up. Or do I just go for Glyph here? I think going for Glyph is fine. When I'm one off Beanstalk as well. Vinestalk, I mean. So they'll probably take the trade, and then unfortunately I just, like, this counter has been... Well, if it didn't auto-tap, I would have been fine, but... I'm actually a little bit confused as to why it left up 1 green instead of Painland, but whatever. Not the biggest problem, I hope. I still need 1 more land. If I top deck a land, I think we're good to go. If I don't top deck a land, it's actually okay. I mean, the Cauldron does do a lot here. So is this lethal is the question. I can force a block, right? Oh no, it is lethal. Oh, that's lifelink. Ugh. Oh, this has a +1. Wait a minute. If I put a +1 on this, 6/3 is not enough. Oh wait, but then I can map potentially for lethal, which I guess is what I'm gonna do here. Should have started with the map, I guess. Okay, I got it. Also, it auto-tapped my blue again. Oh wait. Oh, I can use it with any color. Oh, I kind of forgot about that. Oh, I have not played with Cauldron in a while. Yeah, that... I actually have not seen that ability be relevant before, but it is very relevant. Well, at least I know now that I could have done that previously, but it wasn't even that bad of a play to trade Shieldred, thankfully, because otherwise I would have been in trouble. Whenever attacks you discard. If I can't discard, they draw a card. Discard a land, they make a 1/1. Yeah, Cauldron is broken. I was considering when I played the second best of 1 and it didn't work out. I felt like Cauldron was such a core part of the game plan that I felt like I needed 3 really. But the issue is, if this deck had any form of looting, I think it would be justified. But without it, if you draw double Cauldron, I think you kind of lose the game. So because this deck's game plan needs every single card to be impactful, and that wouldn't be the case if you draw multiple legendary cards that are worthless. I think I have to cut the counters on the draw. They're just too slow. And what? And what? Maybe I play Larcenist. They're gonna bring in like sweepers probably. Maybe Oh, Spell Pierce seems fine actually. Yeah, I'll play Spell Pierce. And then maybe treatment. Do I need an answer to Shield Run? Maybe, but also I don't know if Witness Protection on Shield is that real. But I guess it's more. It's probably like the protection spell. Most likely, I'm never gonna be able to hold it up on the draw. They're gonna be removing my stuff constantly. I will almost never have that one mana up, so I might as well just play it. Removal spell in case Shieldred comes down, because that Shieldred is gonna be a problem. Cool. But I guess that's the price you pay for playing 22, right? Like, I would probably not play 22 in this deck, but it seems like it's kind of reasonable. Like, it's the limit of reason within it's within reason, but it's very close to being greedy. It is greedy, but like too greedy. All right, I'll try cutting Witness Protection, just going full aggro. Try to find a land, curve this out into a Glyph, into a Sentinel, or Sentinel first, depending on what happens. I'm probably gonna get Brotherhood's ended and probably lose the game, honestly, but we'll see. I don't think this is a very good matchup. Post board. Depending on whether or not they have like 3-4 Brothers in. Okay. I need land. If I find land, actually, we're kind of good here. I can cast this. That's actually not too bad. But still, like the 22 lands really biting me. I mean, that's just Ashlazel known for cutting a lot of lands because blood. But you know, in this deck again, like there are ways to manipulate draws with the Schooner, with the Sentinel, where you get extra, you know, extra looks at cards. I wonder why they took out that instead of that. I have to play something relevant here because the Modern Age will just block my cookie anyways if I do this. Not worth. Yeah, this will always proc both sides, right? Oh, this is non-creature, non-land. Okay. I was wondering why they didn't destroy the Gingerbrute, but it makes sense. If I find a land here, we're kind of good. I guess I'll just do this then. Yeah, I should probably... Yeah, unfortunately, I guess the Spell Pierce was kind of the same reasoning as to not playing it as royal treatment, where I probably don't have the mana to hold up. So it's really biting me here. Unfortunately, this will be useless for the entire game, basically. Which is not good. Sure. That's better than them casting it. I'm happy about that, because they cast that, I'm kind of screwed. Maybe I draw a land here and we're actually in a good spot. Otherwise, Yeah, otherwise I'm not in a good spot. I am not in a good spot. Okay. I mean, I could put on Ginger Brute. Which I guess is fine. But then I don't want to activate it, so am I attacking with it and trading for both? In that case, I'd rather just... No, I think I have to put it on the... Probably on the map, actually. Because this food can come out as a 4/4. I don't think putting on this is correct, because I don't want to activate. I want to hold this up. And this represents the most amount of power next turn, with this activating, turning this into a 4/4. These being able to chip in for 1 damage. If you enjoy my content and would like to help me keep making it, consider supporting me over on Patreon, where you can access to a bunch of bonus videos, as well as other rewards depending on the tiers. And thank you so much to all the lovely patrons that are already subscribed. I appreciate it very much. And I will see you all in the next video.